I'm often asked about what are the keys to my success, and I think there are three or four key elements that have really served me well throughout my business and corporate career, and have really sort of stood the test of time and have enabled me to deliver really great results across a long, long period. And the first and foremost element is persistence. So I'm incredibly persistent. I don't give up easily. I've been knocked down more times than I would care to mention, but I always get back up and I always keep going. And I go, beyond what most individuals would suffer and do, because I've got, just an incredible ability to just keep at it. And, I've had a lot of failure, and that has enabled me to eventually have great successes. And, every time I've had a failure, I've taken a lesson learnt and taken it forward and pushed it through to another business or business opportunity, so that we have greater and greater success in the long term. But every day and week, there's always something going wrong, and there's always an opportunity to learn and go forward. And you've got to be really resilient and extremely persistent, in my opinion, over the long haul, particularly if you want to be a business owner, business entrepreneur, in these sort of economic times. The second key element is the work ethic. So combining persistence and resilience with work ethic, I've always worked hard, and it has paid dividends, because you physically just do more than your competition, and you do it consistently year on year. I was seeing a couple of videos from some of the real estate gurus, and they're talking about the numbers and how you've just got to be consistent year on year if you want to build a big sort of business in that space. And it's the same in my enterprises. You've got to have a good work ethic, you've got to be prepared to show up, you've got to be consistent. So work ethic, consistencies have always really kept me, in good stead. And then the final element is just being really, really humble. And, I find that the type of work that I offer in the market, which is, career counselling, career planning, helping people advance their lives, their careers, and secure roles and opportunities, you can't do that if you're coming to the table with a really big ego and being a bit full of yourself. I like to be accessible, and I like to be really humble, and I don't like to sort of go over the top with finances and expenditure. I really live a very simple quality life, but without all the bells and the whistles, and I've found that serves me really well. And over years, as you mature, you lose the kind of materialism and the desire to just go and buy another handbag or another motor car or another property. So being humble and being a servant, and really having a servant mentality. So those elements have all kind of combined to create a winning formula for me. Now that formula might not work for you, and you may have other elements that are just as valid. And I think it's a really good time to revisit your values and what makes you tick, because that can really help guide your career pathways, the types of people you want to do business with, and be working with like-minded people. Because I'm so clear on those values, I'm also really clear on who I want to have working with me, the types of clients that I have, and it creates the correct ecosystem for me. So think about what works for you. That's what's been the key to my success, having those key pillars and those key elements. But think about what's really driving your success and the elements and the traits that you want to emulate in 2025 to really knock it out of the park.